Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to your course, Introduction to Computer Networks. I'm thrilled to see all of you here, and I hope you're as excited as I am for the journey we're about to embark on together. Over the next 2 hours of the course, we'll be diving into Module 1 networking today. Whether you're new to this subject or have some prior experience, I'm confident that we'll have a great time exploring and learning together. Our goal here is not only to acquire knowledge, but also to foster a collaborative learning environment. Don't hesitate to ask questions after the class ends, to engage in discussions and share your insights. Learning is most effective when we work together as a team. Throughout the course, we'll have lectures, discussions, practical exercises, and assignments that will help reinforce what we've learned. I encourage you to stay curious, be proactive, and take advantage of the resources provided in the NetAcad website. Kindly refer to our lecturer assistant in the lab to provide you with an account on the website. Our objective for this module: to explain the advances in modern technologies in the network, as we're going to explain the following: how networks affect our daily lives, how host and network devices are used, network representations, and how they are used in network topologies. We're also going to compare the characteristics of common types of networks. We need to know how LANs and WANs interconnect to the internet. Describe the 4 basic requirements of a reliable network. Plus, how trends such as BYOD, online collaboration, video, and cloud computing are changing the way we interact. Also, to identify some basic security threats and solutions for all networks. We're going to explain employment opportunities in the networking field. In the first topic in our module today, we're going to explain how networks affect our daily lives. The communication is almost as important to us as our reliance on air, water, food, and shelter, and so on so far. In today's world, through the use of networks, we are connected like never before. The next video was downloaded from NetAcad website as your references.
This is the world, always moving, always changing, and nowhere is that more true than in technology. From the very start, we've been on a quest to make things easier, move faster, and expand our opportunities. And with each new innovation, the pace of change has only accelerated. To keep up, education has to advance and evolve as well. At Cisco Networking Academy, we believe that powerful learning comes from hands-on instruction with real equipment and software. So we're committed to giving our students a real-world grounding in today's most valuable skills. We've developed many of our own tools, including simulators that help them test their ideas at scale in different environments. And we keep it real by giving students the chance to test their skills in competitions and hackathons. They receive personalized feedback every step of the way, and not just from instructors. Automated, performance-based feedback is an integral part of the learning experience. Our classes are translated in up to 20 languages, making it easier to learn in your own language and share experiences with others around the world. More than technical skills, it's a broad-based program focused on creating global problem solvers, ready to move the world forward. Our students become T-shaped professionals, meaning they get deep technical knowledge in at least 1 or 2 high-demand job areas. But they also get the broader range of skills needed to collaborate across related technologies, which makes them even more valuable to potential employers. Preparing students to become the innovators of tomorrow, capable of successfully contributing to multidisciplinary teams that are setting the pace for the future of networking, the Internet of Things, security, programming, and information technology. They learn from the best trained instructors, and earn certifications that can get them better jobs, higher pay, and a well-rounded career, meeting today's needs and tomorrow's opportunities. There's no saying where technology will take us next, only that the ones leading the way will have the T-shaped skills you get at Cisco Networking Academy. It's how academies, educators, and students keep ahead of an ever-evolving world. Discover the latest courses and set out on an exciting career journey at netacad.com.
Network components, where we're going to explain how host and network devices are used in our lives. What are the host roles, as shown in the right figure? Every computer on a network is called a host or end device. Servers are computers that provide information to end devices such as email servers, web servers, file server. When the clients are computers that send requests to the servers to retrieve information such as web page from a web server, email from an email server. As shown in the figure, the network components for an end device are where a message originates from or where it is received. Data originates with an end device, flows through the network, and arrives at an end device. An intermediary device interconnects end devices, such as switches, wireless access points, routers, and firewalls. Management of data as it flows through a network is also the role of an intermediary device, including the following: regenerate and retransmit data signals. Maintain information about what pathways exist in the network. Notify other devices of errors and communication failures. All those are network components for intermediary network devices. Communication across a network is carried through a medium that allows a message to travel all the way from source to destination. Media types, such as metal wires within cables, are used for electrical impulses. Also, we have fiber optic cable where it uses pulses of light. The last type we got is wireless transmission, used to modulate specific frequencies of electromagnetic waves. After we covered that network components, we move to network representations and topologies. Here you will understand that how network representations and how they are used in network topologies. The network diagrams are often called topology diagrams when it uses symbols to represent devices within the network. The important terms to know include network interface card, physical port, interface. Keep in your mind the terms port and interface are used interchangeably. In the topology diagrams, we have two types. The left figure is physical topology diagrams, illustrate the physical location of intermediary devices and cable installation. While the right figure is logical topology diagrams, illustrate devices, ports, and the addressing scheme of the network.
I think right now the mic is working well. Now we were discussing in the common type of the network. And in this topic, we will understand what the type of the network that we're using in our daily life as topic for us network today. There are many types of the network. Nowadays, the most important network is depend on the size of the network, the size of the end device it uses, and the size of the place that we implement the infrastructure. So the small home network is connecting few computer, mobile, laptop, and printers and all the smartest device. Then we have the small office when enable connecting the home also remotely with the small office like 2 or 3 people staff working there. Then we have the building, the other large or media building when it have many computers on LAN working with it. To connect it all the small devices and the smart device with the small office companies everything together with different country, we call it WAN. The worldwide network connection in hundreds of millions computer in the world and any smarting device including the cars. So it depends also in the size and in user type of the end user for it. Now the size of the end user, we're talking about the LAN and the WAN. LAN that we use right now in our home, where we connected the laptop, the iPad and the printer and all the devices for the home to one router. And also when we are in the university, we connect all the devices and the labs, everything, the phone in one network, we call it LAN. Connecting different network, different city, different branch, different country, we call it WAN. So LAN is coming from local area network and wider area network for the WAN, the short one. This one is more in cloud computing, server, router, bridge, and hub. But we have only the bridge and router for the LAN. Here we are going in more details in advance for the next module. As we explained earlier, module 1 is just briefing to all other module. They are connected with all end devices and in limited area in the LAN. And also we have the single organization to doing all this job as individually. We provide the high speed of the bandwidth in the internet devices in the LAN. While the WAN will connect over the geographic area between different countries, between different cities, and is also different industrial and academic with different environment. Also, it's one or more service providers will provide it for the WAN, and it will be a little bit slow compared to because of the size and the different area between all the and different devices, different structure and infrastructure. This all is with parameter that affected the bandwidth and the speed of the internet. Internet, where control it is not individually. There are no control. Everyone designing his own networking, but we have group of company that to follow the standard and make sure the protocol implemented there. You may design it in your home network, you're designing your own protocol, but if you want to join the main network, the one, you have to follow the protocol that designed by this organization. So the LAN or the WAN, it will not be holding by individually people. It is a group, and this group just to make sure that you follow the standard and the protocol to join this one, and always maintain the structure of this internet to make sure that security and the quality there for the internet. Intranet and extranet. Internet, like for example, we're taking IITU, the university. We have intranet inside the university, which only allow to access this network when you are inside the campus. There, to provide high security and fast speed internet for the staff. When we key the marks, uploading the assessment for the student, we're using the intranet to provide high security of internet, which does not allow any outside people to attend this network. Only authorized person. This provide high speed internet, high security. Internet extranet that everyone access from outside it. We also have security, but it depends on the bandwidth that you provided. So sometimes it will be slow or fast. Different from intranet. Intranet always fast, but depend on the provider inside the campus or inside the organization. Most of the organization using in this intranet and extranet, especially on the government areas. When you want to register, you can register online and submit the document. For example, the bank also using intranet, which inside the bank only the branch to provide high security, and only the authorized person could be accessed. Now we need to study about the internet connection for the topic of network today. The internet connection. There are many ways to connect your computers with the outside. That broadband cable, digital broadband. We have the plug-in for RG45. We have the cable Cat 1 to 5. We have Cat 6, Cat 7, and Cat 8. Depend on the purpose of using the networking. You want using only for data, voice, or video. What the purpose you are using? Depend on the organization, what the fast need. And every connection is provided with the IP address. IP address is the number that you got it for your own computer only, and it keep change either dynamically or manually. Here we're going to understand that we have IP address and we have MAC address. In the other chapters and other video, we're going to study IPv4 and IPv6 and what the difference between it. So we're just taking briefing about IP and why we used. And we have the MAC address, that only the number that you have it around all the world. Same as your identification national card, ID card, you're going to have one number from your time you're born until the death, the rest of your life. So it depends on the type or the size of the network plus and the purpose of using this network. Explain in the purpose of the size of the network and the purpose of the network. So we have cable for using high bandwidth television cable. If you go to the cinema system sound, the cable it will be different. So how the data inside it, the bandwidth DSL to send it, always the internet running over the telephone line. We have cellular, the network that we have it in the mobile. We have satellite wireless is good for the internet service provider, ISP. Also we have the digital up telephone that low bandwidth we can use it. All these different types of the connection that we go and use it depend on the infrastructure. So we depend on the infrastructure, the purpose of using this networking, the type of this networking. If the home different from the small office, different from large company, infrastructure for my home, if it's old or new home, it depends on the data provider, are they using fiber optic or normal. So all this is parameter that using of connected in the network. So but we understand that we have the cable, the DSL, cellular and satellite, and normal cable for the telephones. For the business purpose of the internet connection, they go using high bandwidth, dedicated the connection, managing their servers. Dedicate the line for Ethernet 1, DSL, satellite. Those are services within the service provider network connection to distance of the office. So depend on the distance between the office, distance between the computer. Also the Ethernet extend the LAN to one technology. And we have the purpose of the business of we having to have sequence of the LAN. Satellite when we have the connection for the wider area and some places is not provided. All this type of the internet connection, it depends on the high bandwidth, the connection type, and the service that we provided through the internet. The type of the data that the purpose of the network that we're going to use, either we're using data only sending, voice or video, all together, or all. The delivery the voice and over the same network infrastructure, need infrastructure, strong infrastructure rule, and follow the standard. All this type of the network is following by the infrastructure is important, and also the provider. So you can see the device and satellite, all we send it to the video to the TV. For example, the TV here, we receive the cellular data from the satellite, we receive it from the cloud, the server, and we need high bandwidth to view the channel, YouTube or Netflix or all. Or receiving the text, the fax is normal data, is low bandwidth, or we sending email also low bandwidth, depend on the purpose of using the network. This is what the network is covering. Next, we're going to see video downloaded by NetAcad and how to using NetAcad in our labs. As we will explain that in our subject we're using NetAcad, and in the lab we're using package tracer. Every week, starting from next week, we have lab practical, as we showed in the beginning, that 2.9 chapter module 2, we have lab practical. You have to do it and submit in the NetAcad, so you get the mark. Again, any late submission, the mark will not be considered. You have to submit on time. Now this video will show you how to you running the NetAcad. And the NetAcad it's help you to practice in the real life. So it's a simulation. It helps you to practice in the real life. To get more information about it, this video supporting you, plus the research assistant will helping you during the lab practical.
Hello! In this video, we will download and install Cisco Packet Tracer. Cisco Packet Tracer is free and available from the website of www.netacad.com. This is the Cisco Networking Academy. You must have an account with Cisco Networking Academy in order to download and install Cisco Packet Tracer. From the website www.netacad.com, I'll hover over the Login button. When you click on Login, you'll be redirected to a login page. Please use your current credentials for the Cisco Networking Academy. If you do not have credentials at this time, you'll have to create an account. After entering your username or an email address assigned with a Cisco Networking Academy account, you'll click on Next. At this time, you'll be asked for an account password. Please type in your password for your account. After entering your password, click the Sign In button. When your account is successfully authenticated, you'll be given a main home page. On this home page, you'll be able to see resources at the top. Hover over Resources. Click on the link for Download Packet Tracer. The Download Cisco Packet Tracer page will load. You can scroll down and find the latest installers for Cisco Packet Tracer. These installers are organized based off of the operating system that each executable has been created for. Please download the latest executable for your system. After downloading the latest available Cisco Packet Tracer installer, locate the executable file that you have downloaded. Mine is in the Downloads folder of my machine. I will double-click on that installer file, and now I'm given the license agreement page. I'll click on I accept the agreement and click Next. I will leave the default directory for where it will be placed and click Next. The name of the Cisco Packet Tracer application in my Start menu folder, I'll leave the default and click Next. From here I have two options regarding the desktop shortcut and the quick launch shortcut. I will leave the default settings and click Next. When I click on Install, It's now going to extract the files from the executable file and install the program to my machine. After the installer has completed, the default selection is to launch Cisco Packet Tracer. I will leave that checked and I will click Finish. The installer application will close, but Cisco Packet Tracer is going to open now on my machine. I have a pop-up that is asking to run multi-user when the application starts. I will click on Yes. From here, Packet Tracer is going to load for our initial deployment. Packet Tracer will ask for access through the Windows firewall of my machine. I will check for private home networks, and at this time I will deselect for public. I will click Allow Access. When Cisco Packet Tracer begins to open, it will allow me to log in using my Cisco Networking Academy credentials. This is very important as it allows me to be able to save files more than 3 times. If I do not log in using my Cisco Networking Academy credentials, I'll be using Continue as Guest. That is a limited alternative compared to using your Cisco Networking Academy credentials. So I will enter my credentials for the Cisco Networking Academy. I will click on Next and it will ask me for a password. I'll enter my password for my Cisco Networking Academy account. And before I click Sign In, I will check mark the box to keep me logged in. This allows my machine to utilize these credentials for up to 3 months. It means I don't have to log in every time I open Cisco Packet Tracer. With that check mark selected, I will click Sign In. At this time, the Cisco Packet Tracer application is installed, and now I can begin designing, configuring, troubleshooting, and deploying networks, IoT, security, and more.
Then your mind, all this technology, how I really trust the network and how to make that network reliable to me. We hear always say it's attacking this, it will be attack. So we want to understand how this network it help me, how I should trust the network. What are the parameters that it implement, enhance in the network that they making a network safe is used. In 1.6, we will understand what are the standards that it enhance in the network to make the network safe. Network to make the network safe, it is architecture of the network. The architecture of the network, it is you make the network, you can trust the network, the fault tolerant, quality of the service of the network, and there are 4 parameters that we need to depend on it. The first parameter, the fault tolerant. When having any, we are sending network, I sending email, it go to the router, to the modem, to the router, to the cloud, Yahoo or Gmail. Then from the cloud go to the receiver. So it is from the sender to the receiver. In case something happened to the router, was breakdown. When I sending email, when the router breakdown, so my email will be stuck here. It will be freeze until this laptop will be fixed. Router. Here the fault tolerant, it will find the nearest path or alternative path to reach the destination. So the fault tolerant is always choosing multi-path are required to avoid any fault in this network. So when any router is being damaged, he tries to search any nearest router, then he go to destination. So it will switch to the nearest router over the networks or other router to find the same destination. So he will use different path to using the destination. This is how to give more reliability to the trust to the user how using the network. It can be extended to the quality and easy support. In the campus, we have 1,000 students. The new student coming is 500 students. So the network shouldn't reducing the speed and the bandwidth, where it allocate to each student a special bandwidth. As we ask that each student have his like 100 mega, the bandwidth. So when come a new student to the campus, it will not reducing it. So here it is without impact the performance of service for existing users. So I accepting new user without impact. Some company, some provider, they provide at a very high speed, high quality. When in the beginning we have few users, when so many people register and enroll in this provider, the internet becoming low. This is one of the bad things of the provider. But the good provider, when you have 1,000 users and adding more, and nothing happening to the performance of service. Some country that I visit, in the morning the internet is slow, evening slow, at night is fast. So it's some way I call the provider, I say this peak hour, so many people using the internet. But where I live and other place I visit, the 24/7 the internet is fast without any impact to the performance, which is good provider. He gave you the design bandwidth to you specially with the order and the order for the protocol and network scalable. Coming to the other topic, that quality of service. When we have the video and the voice recorded in the live, here the quality will be appear. What does mean the quality? When you're watching the video and never this will be buffer or buzz. You can check it right now on YouTube and you see the quality of your provider, how the bandwidth is given to you and provided and with the speed. Again, there are not only the provider who have issue, also maybe the end device. One time happened case that we checked the router with having high bandwidth, speed, all together it was perfectly work. The problem was when one of the device mobile have hardware problem. Once connected to the network, it will be the network down. This is giving the bad influence to the network. Here we understand that not only the infrastructure, also the end device will affect of the quality. The quality, we have to make sure that all the devices will receive the same bandwidth and speed. And the router can be easy to managing and flow for the traffics. The network security is not about only the physical security. The network security should provide from unauthorized access to your device and also protecting your information is working. You know that most of the router that at home, your modem at your home, the username and the password is admin. The provider, when he install the router or the modem in your house, the number of the modem per day he installed may be 20. So some of the technicians, they are lazy to change the password. Or when they change the password, the user will forget the password. So it's difficult for him to reassign again and reset the password for the router, which requires more hard work. Here, most of the technicians, they leave it admin. You may go to, I try right now. You go to find the router IP, go to the website, open your router, and enter the password admin, username admin, and the password admin. This is what we go into more in details in the advanced module for this course. So this one is not prevent your computer from any attacks. It will not prevent. Yes, you have the antivirus on your computer, but when the router is not changing the username and password, easy for the attack. Confidential information is really needed to save your data and integrate to make sure that the data has been transferred safe and secure. So make sure you are having the right username and the password, and keep changing the username and password for your computers. We need to know the trend network, what the famous things coming on the live right now. We got many new things it's coming. So we need to understand what the trend for the network today. We got like bring your own computer device. Some company allow to bring your own device to the company for more flexible, easy to use, allow to more to be I allow it using your laptop, your mobile inside the company. Some company doesn't allow. As we explained, maybe you don't have updating your antivirus, you don't have high security in your laptop. And you say some of the students say, I don't have any confidential things in my laptop. I just it's assignment and paperwork, so I don't need to be worried if it's been attacked. But actually, your laptop would have other people information, like such as email, contact number, and all the other information. When you bring your laptop in organization and your laptop is weak, the hacker will try to attack the organization. Most of the hacker will not attack direct to the organization. Attack try to find some victim, then some laptop is weak from the security. And through the laptop, we go to the organization. Also, we have some online collaboration that same as team, we got Cisco network. So Cisco same as video call, can recording the video, can recording the classes and do the communication. Also, we have the video communication and the clouding computer. Now, when we have a storage in my mobile, I can store it 5,000 giga or 5 giga or 1 tera picture. But I need when I'm storing this amount of this data, when I store it, it's taking big amount of the storage at my mobile. Simply, if I download the OneDrive application, we're taking 2 mega, and this application, it can store all my data. So the mobile application is to help me a lot to minimize and optimize the storage of my laptop. So if I have like 100 picture, it's taking 1 giga storage from my mobile. I just download the application, take 1 mega, and everything will be storing in the cloud. So the cloud computer is computer server connected to the network and can access anywhere at any times. So it helped me to access anywhere at any times without taking much size in my mobile. So it's more convenience for me to having to traveling without carrying my laptop, everything in the Dropbox, everything in the cloud. So it's easy, and I can call any document. Plus, it doesn't take size from my device. Another trend that we have it in the home, smartphone, smart home, smart car, smart refrigerator, smart coffee machine. So is everything smart? We connected all this smart on the if you some of you may have the Alexa or Amazon, Siri. When you connected all your home in one devices, and these devices will help you to communicate. They call it power line networking, using all the adopt devices. So in my home, I can turn on the light, turn off the TV, turn on the aircon, checking the car charger, it's charging full, can charging the car also, making the coffees using Alexa. We're giving order only and everything connected to the network, especially when using the wireless point. So all the devices at the home are reached in one point, is Alexa or Amazon, whatever the device using, or Siri. And this one will be connected in one and sending the data, and based on the data he will do the instruction. It's making our life much more easier with the connection. So the connection is what's a small word that said everything far, make it close to us, and implemented all the data. So easy for the communication. For that, the communication is not only done by cable for the smart home, it's also can done by the wireless, like found in rural environment, the internet service provider, wireless internet service provider, WISP, that it connection all the design of access point in the one hotspot. Also help me for the small business and large apartment, can using cellular technology, can using all the type of the connection to making provided as smart home. Last topic for today in the network today, we are talking about network security, how to prevent our data from any unauthorized person to access. So we will study in the last topic how to prevent the data from unauthorized person to access and how to update it. In this topic, we will understand that we have something called firewall to prevent any external virus coming to attack. And what does mean higher firewall? Firewall is provided by Microsoft to prevent any IP address or any hackers from attack. So they recommended to you that to always updating the firewall every day, updating it. And what the working in the firewall, if someone attack other computer, they were taking the IP address and updating in the firewall around all the world. Firewall will checking IP one by one to secure the network from any unauthorized person, and implemented many protocol tools technology to order to secure the data from internally and also externally. Allow only the quality service that extend to the network. Some people enable and disable the firewall. Yes, it's true that if you disable it, they will have to becoming much more faster in terms of connecting to the network. Why? Because the firewall, you were checking individually the IP address, one by one. And this is making your laptop very slow. When you disable it, becoming fast, but it's making high risk. So as a recommendation for today's class, that always to update your firewall. Example about external and internal virus like worm, Trojan horse, spy, and zero-day attack is all this type of the virus. And internal like loss and storing the password, accidentally losing the hardware, the device, and everything. So this is security that it's helping you. If you applying the firewall, applying the antivirus, it's helping you to avoid all this type of the viruses. Things to prevent from any data lost, to prevent from any attacks is two things: antivirus installation in the device, and also firewall filter to block from any unauthorized access in the network. As we do explain that in the class we have 2 hours, one theory, one practical. In this practical, you back to the netcat, solve all the questions in the module 1. So in the module 1 we have some question and lab practical. So we have 2 hours, one theory, and we're extending for more than 1 hour right now. But it's okay because it's the first class and we're starting with introduce ourselves. So now we're starting in the we have quizzes and the practical. We have to implement it for the module 1. You go just this week you will receive your username and password from the research assistant. Once you receive it, you are attending to go to the module 1 and answer all the question in the module 1. Until here, dear student, we're coming to the end of the class for this module 1. Kindly, if you have any question, ask.